They're live. So, good morning, Miss Worm. Thanks for the thumbs up. So today, I just didn't feel good enough to go. I felt like I probably should not go in the gym, just because I don't want to be shocked. Is it pixelated? Is it moving? Can you hear it? If somebody give me a 5x5, I was drainage. I got this from my wife. The wife got it from the teacher. And so I'm still going to work. We'll go out and come in again. All right, let me know if that works. If it doesn't, then I'll have to move my phone. And that could be my phone. At 41%. Let me move to another area of the house. I moved the phone to hopefully where I'm getting a better signal. I was charging it, so hopefully this is going to clear things up. So today I'm going to cook a late breakfast, and then sounds a bit better, but you're stopping on each other word. Okay, maybe it's better now. Much better now that you moved it. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to start with breakfast, and then I'm going to do some baking. So I'm going to cook stuff for not only my lunch, but for dinner. When the wife comes home, I won't be home. So I have a new stove. Really nice. It's got 5 burners on it, and it's a gas convection stove. So, after 22 years, we decided to upgrade our stove, and we had to because the oven wasn't working on the other one anymore, and we were using a small oven. So I have a power burner that I'll probably be only using when I really need to do some severe cooking, because it is considerably stronger than what I had before. I had the other power burner that was equivalent to the one I had on my old stove. I have a standard burner, which I'm going to be using. I have a simmer burner, and then I have a oval burner and a griddle accessory, so I can do pancakes or things like that. I don't use that very often. We do have an electric one we plug in. A lot of times I use that instead. But it lights up really fast. It's nice to have everything. I'm going to start the breakfast, and I'm also going to preheat the oven. So I'm going to preheat the oven to 350. I'm going to bake the chicken drumsticks in here for about a half hour, because I'm going to heavy season them, and then I'm going to move them into the crock pot. In the crock pot, we're going to smother them in an open pit, barbecue sauce. And then that'll be, so when the wife comes home, it'll be just coming off the bones. And then I'll probably just tell her to make some rice. And then she can do a chicken over rice. I will probably eat some for a late lunch. So first of all, I'm going to start with bacon. Why? Because I like bacon. I don't need any other reason. So generally for just my own meal, I cook up 3 half strips of bacon. I do cut them in half to make it a little bit easier to cook. Then I use the bacon grease to fry the eggs in. The eggs I get from a neighbor down the road, although I do have some store-bought eggs too, because his chickens had slowed down. But they did drop me off 4 dozen, so I should be good for the week. Now we're going to have to drop off some money for them. And then once I get breakfast rolling pretty good, I'll start taking my vitamins. So I start with a multivitamin. I'll hit C. I'm hitting C about twice a day. Zinc and D3. That's to help fight my cold. And then a B complex for energy, which I'm going to need so I can stay awake when I go to work. So work's going to be kind of fun. I could have worked overtime last night, but I just really didn't feel up to it. Our our third shift guy is supposedly got COVID again, and he's taking the week off. So we don't need to do a convection bake. I think just regular bake is fine, and 350 is fine. So let's hit start. It's new, so I have to kind of look at the control panel and see what's going on there. So when you're cooking the long-term slow cook with the drumsticks, I'm going to be using some roasted garlic, some mildly seasoned salt, black peppers, sea salt, and then I have mozzarella chicken. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little water in the bottom and then heavily spice these skins and cook them for about a half hour. And I can't really see it over here, but I'll bring it over here to the crock pot and put them in for long term. But obviously I'll be washing those. Right now, I got it preheating. And even a regular size burner, they're stronger than what I'm used to on my older one. So thanks for the thumbs up. That's one. Thanks for popping in. A large gas oven, a gas grill, and a tall electric oven. Oh, cool. So what do you have, like a 40-inch? A 36 or 40-inch range? It kind of reminds me of the old Tappan 40-inch ranges or 36-inch ranges. This is a 30-inch range, and that's generally your standard size for your regular ovens here in America. Back in the 50s and 60s, they had Tappan, part of Frigidaire now, made a 36-inch 5-burner. And you had either a gas oven with a side oven on the side, a smaller side oven, and then there were some 40 inches that were different also. 36, yep. Yep, there we go. So yeah, it seems similar to what a Frigidaire Tappan used to make. I'm sure you got your own manufacturers over there. So the bacon is cooking really fast with this burner. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it to low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little filtered water in the bottom. Not much. And that's just to keep the chicken from burning. Now wash it. Why do you wash it? Well, somebody had to put this stuff in there. And we don't know how sanitized they were. So, woo! So I take this over here to the sink. You know what I mean? Wash, I rinse it off. It's not like I use soap and water or anything like that. So let me get everything set up here. I give each one a nice little rinse off. So if there was any bad stuff on it, then this will probably be dinner and lunch for the missus and I. It's probably the next 2 days. They were on sale, 99 cents a pound. I haven't seen that price in a long time. So I figured I'd get them. I had to use the big pan. I was going to use a smaller pan, but then I realized it wasn't going to be big enough. So, garbage. I wish I had. I used to have trash. It used to be popular. So you could compact about 3 times the trash in bags. We got Runner Boy. Yeah, I'm not going live at the gym. And I started thinking about it. And I said, just kind of, instead of just laying around the house, moaning, I would do a cooking one that I haven't done in a long time. So you're right. I wasn't going to, but what do you say? Never say never. Here's some roasted garlic. This is freshly made from a spice house out in Utica. So I do like to kind of try to utilize that. And then, of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very generous with the seasonings. So when I put it in the oven, it'll bake in there really well into the meat. And then we'll put it in the crock pot. What we got in here? Hey, y'all, how we doing? Thanks for stopping in. Guy said he'd remove the strike. Let me read this here. That he would remove the strike on my channel. By the way, at least it seems cool. Good. It's good to hear. And John Clash, thanks for joining in. So no workout video today. Just don't feel under the water. I'm going to take a rest day. And what I'll try to do is move today's workout to probably Saturday. So my squat and military will be done on Saturday. I still may play around outside with the dumbbells just because I've been known to do that and go from there. So right now I got the bacon cooking. I got the oven preheating. It's up to 200 degrees already. Now this is Fahrenheit, not Celsius. And I set it for 350, which is a good temperature for baking ovens. You can't go wrong when you set it to 350. Most everything will bake at 350. Sometimes they want you to use 375 or 400, but that just changes the baking time. All I'm really trying to do is get it pre-cooked a little bit and get the seasonings in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start getting the, I'll try to turn it so you can see it. I'm going to get the crock pot ready to put in there. So I'm using open pit barbecue sauce. And I'm just putting some on the bottom right now so I can turn it on low and get some heat going. So that's warming up. And the oven's warming up. Everything's warming up. So let me see what else I got going here. So what I'm cooking bacon and eggs for breakfast. And then I've got drumsticks, chicken drumsticks that I'm cooking for my lunch and then my wife's dinner and probably for me when I get home tonight. So remember, I need to have, when I'm lifting, I have about 200 grams of protein in during the day. So granted, I'm not going to do a lot of lifting today, but I still need the protein. So I got the eggs from the farmer, and I got some just from the store. I'll use them both. And so my appetite's off a little bit. I'm probably initially only going to do about 3 eggs. I usually eat more. But I'm not feeling well, I'll just add a meal. Eat more often. Oh, Binks is out there sleeping. I could bring her in, but she looks so comfy. So I usually put the bacon on a Kleenex to drain any of the extra grease off of it. I got the food bucket. Everything goes back to the garden. I'm trying to stay ahead of so basically what I do is I dump the eggs in there and then I kind of just break them up, mix them around. And I just do a quick scramble in the pan. Oh, there we go. Quick scramble in the pan. They cook faster that way. And then once they get cooked, I let them cool off for a little bit. Then I can eat that and then take my vitamins. Because I do want to take my vitamins with food. Howdy, Miss Worm. Like, hey, Randy, how we doing? Good morning. So yeah, it is tasty. The eggs are about 6 grams of protein per egg. So these are about medium to large size eggs. And they're 100 calories, and they're pretty clean calories. And they're packed full of a lot of clean amino acids, which are basically proteins. Grilled up some thin smoked pork chops. Boneless. Oh, very nice. I did that the other day. The wife and I had that with the homemade fries from my remnants of my potatoes from the garden. I only got like 3 left. And they'll be gone. They'll be history. But boy, were they good. The best time of the day, I would, good question. I will try to take them in the morning with food. Now remember, some vitamins your body stores in fats. So taking them once a day is probably plenty. And then other vitamins like vitamin C, your body pretty much processes it and gets through it out of the system rather quickly. So vitamin C I take in the morning and I take at night. I'm actually going to take them to work. I got vitamin C. I got zinc and D3s that I'll be taking to work. And I will probably take them. Hey, the oven says it's ready. So I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to put it in there. And then I'll set the timer for about 30 minutes. What I didn't check is I didn't check the inside of the oven because sometimes we use the oven for storage. So, oops on me. But I got some things in here I didn't necessarily want in there. So, and like I said, I'm not really worried about the exact timing of it. It's more of a pre-cook. So let's shut this burner off. And then what I try to do is try to pre-rinse things as much as I can to get ahead of the dishes. I find if I do a quick pre-scrub on them, they're easier to clean than if you leave them for a long time. So when I can, I try to mostly clean as I go. I can't always do that, but I try to whenever I have the opportunity. That was in the oven, so I'm not going to grab it with my bare hands. It's about 350 degrees. That just wouldn't be smart. So now I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. And I've got the crock pot heating up. I've already cooked my egg breakfast. I'll let that sit for a few minutes and let it cool down a little bit. And this is basically just to get some food in me so I can take my vitamins. And of course, it wouldn't be breakfast without Fairlife milk. So I drink the Fairlife milk, my sponsor who isn't, because it has 50% more protein in it and half the sugar. So I get to cut back on my sugar intake, but I also get to get that extra protein I need in my meals. So we go through about 2 of these a day. They're half gallons, but they're well worth it. Because of the nutrition value, a half gallon is really about 3/4 of a gallon of regular milk. So they're not really priced too far out. When people say, well, I can get a gallon of milk for $5. Yeah, you can. I'm paying $4 for the half, but it's close to 3/4. So when you look at what you're paying, it's pretty equivalent. So I'd say in the long term, we're doing the same. I'm subdue sober. Do you keep contact with Sober Powerlifting? Yeah, he's now under Allen Power Lifting or something like that. So yeah, he actually was on my live stream maybe a month ago. So yep. So I guess he had to change his name or whatever. I don't know why. I think it's Allen's Powerlifting Master or whatever. But if you were subbed to him, it wouldn't change anything. You'd still be subbed. So I get all my vitamins out for this time around. And the B-complex is good for energy. Yep. And also the B3 is good for your cholesterol. And then I take arginine, which I took. I'm just about out of arginine. 1 gallon of gas is 3.78 liters. There we go. Let me see, I missed a comment from Runner Boy, probably about getting more subs. I try to comment whenever I can. You hit 1,000 watch hour times. All right, there we go. Just 3 more thousand you need. There is. I got my notes in that, but none of them really clash with bacon and eggs. And then some are best to take with other minerals. So iron is more effective if you take it with vitamin C. And then remember, you got to be careful about some of the ones that you're taking. So I only take iron once a week. And then vitamin K is more effective when you take it with vitamin D. And vitamin K is what I take about maybe once or twice a week. And you'll find in most multivitamins, a lot of them are not going to have iron, and a lot of them are not going to have vitamin K. Because you do have to be careful about the amounts that you take on those. You can actually poison yourself with iron. But then again, about 60% of the population is deficient in iron. Yeah, they said he blocked his previous account. So is Sober Powerlifting again? Think he changed it back? Oh, okay. I'll double check on that then. Because I was subbed to both. I know I was getting his videos yesterday. So first one. The door to the garage. So I used the grinder to set up the fire alarm. Oops. That's some grinding. That is so good bacon. So the bacon I get from Hy-Vee in Bloomington, Illinois. And it is a bourbon brown sugar bacon. Oh my goodness, is it good. So about once a month, it's about 50 miles from here, we make our trip there. Rice bacon is good. When you look at the mass-produced ones, and that's one of the better ones. But I will put this way above rice. So this is the only bacon I had. I had bought a lot of the Oscar Mayer and Wrights and Black Label and Prairie Farms. I had a lot of it in the freezer. And we finally went through that. The only bacon I don't like applewood smoked bacon. Personal preference, I like Avery smoked, I like maple, I like black peppered bacon, I like the bourbon bacon. A lot of times if they're just labeled hardwood or applewood, I just don't like the bacon that's smoked that way. Personal preference. There you go. That's where I'd be getting my bacon. Costs a little bit more, but not much. I can get this on sale for $6.99 a pound. And for the extra buck or two I'm paying, it's well worth it. So just to recap, those are coming in a bit later. First of all, thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. I cooked up the bacon and eggs for breakfast, taking my vitamins along with my milk. That's going to hit my initial need for protein. I was a little moving slow today. I wasn't feeling well, so I knew I wasn't going to go to the gym. Mostly out of courtesy to people in the gym. Obviously, what I have is catching. I caught it. Monday, I went regardless, but I wasn't feeling as bad. And I had a really good workout. So I was happy to do that. So sometimes you force it, sometimes you don't. When I got this morning, my throat was burning. I just really knew I wasn't going to get a quality workout. Sometimes you got to let yourself rest. If all goes well, usually, this runs about 5 days. I'll be back in the gym on Friday. And then I'll try to sneak my squats and military's in on Saturday. I know the wife's still fighting hers. She's been fighting hers for a while. It concerns me a little bit, but sometimes it does that. Next time I might do a poll. So I'm going to let the beard go out a little thicker during the winter. I think I'm at the point where this is the thickest I've ever had it. So I'm starting to hear things from the wife. When are you going to trim it? When are you going to trim it? And I said, probably after Christmas. I'm going to see my godson. Not this weekend, but next weekend. And, my son-in-law, he has so it's best that I have a thick beard. Kids react to it. I remember a friend of mine, family friend of mine, His daughter was scared to death of me because of my beard, because he didn't have one. Probably until she was about 4. Then she was real close. But you could tell that she was not hugging the beard, because of all the adults she's seen, I was the only one that had one. Burger. I'll have to check that out. If I'm ever in California, Missouri, and the chances are good. We do travel Missouri quite often. I'll have to Google it and see where it's at. Right now, bacon at your chicken at $3.50 is probably equivalent to me searing a roast before you put it in the crock pot. No matter if you have the crock pot at low or high, the hottest the crock pot can cook at is the boiling point, which is about 212 degrees Fahrenheit or about 100 degrees Celsius. So that's as hot as it can cook. So it's a slower cook. So here I'm going to kind of lock in the flavors from the outside and let it slow cook and fall apart in the inside. So what I'll do is I'll keep it at low. So it's going to be at low for 7 hours, time the wife gets home. So she'll have a really good meal. All she'll do is have to make some sort of side dish. Because if I cook the rice now, it'll be good for me. But it won't be good for her, so. And then I do have some pork chops I cooked the other day that I'm going to chop up and probably cook a little batch of rice for me for my lunches. Can't get enough of that bacon. Had an iron overdose from eating too much dark chocolate. So yeah, so that's one thing you have to worry about. So like I said, I take iron only once a week. Hey, Prepper Cowboy, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. So Miss Worm, are you still there? If you are, I'll go get Banks and have her say hello to you. If you're not, then I'll just let her lay on the cushion. Oh, there we go. Hey, Banks. Want to come see? Come and see your buddies? Want to come and see your buddies? And here she is. The star of the show. Dun, 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 dun. Hey there, kitty kitty. She's being bashful. She's being bashful. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, no. And I keep a good grip on her, otherwise she'll jump out. Won't you? Yeah, you'll jump out. Yes, you will. This is my wild cat decided to come and be our buddy. Now put you back on your cushion. There you go. There you go. I returned her to her bed. Yum, yum, yum. The food's good. Here we go. Big stir. Yep. The star of the show. So, taking heavy doses of vitamin C, zinc, and D3. C I can take more of because it doesn't store in your body and it's water soluble. The D, I got them in 1,000 units, which is 25 micrograms. I take about 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'll take a few more later on when I get to work. Generally 5,000, 6,000 I use is plenty. You don't want to do any more than that. Well, don't confuse allergies with colds. Most of the time I have an allergy. Now I have a cold. So earlier in the year, those were allergies. Which a lot of times lead to colds. And also the wife teaching 2nd grade, she brings a lot of things back. So generally spring and fall, my allergies act up. This is not an allergy. I can feel it in the bones. She's a teacher. Yep. Yep. Schools are petri dishes. They absolutely are. Yep. And when the size are whack, they can lead to cold. But this one was a gift from Mama. We shared because I'm not going to quarantine myself from my wife. Just not an option. We've got about 13 minutes of the baking. We'll take it out and take a look at what the chicken looks like. And then it'll go in the crock pot. Crock pot will be for long term. I'll just I'll add more open pit over the top of it. And then that'll simmer. So when Mama comes home, she will have a real nice meal to eat. Because she stays after school to try to get her lesson plans done and stuff like that. So, answered that as I sent it. Yep. Yes, they are petri dishes. Good Instant Pot. I haven't touched any of my crock pots. I've heard of it. I'll have to Google it to see what it is. I like crock pots. Like throw them in there, throw them and forget. About every other week, I will make something out of the crock pot. I think I still have a roast down in the freezer I need to pull out. And it's just too easy. Put the roast in there, 2 packages of onion soup, some water, and just let it cook. Consider it done. Oh, pressure cooker. Oh, there we go. It has a cook function as well. So that's why I seen it, because I believe our Pete Hogan farm store has it, wherever it's named. It's its 4th name. So I think they had those. You get perfect rice in 5 minutes, no watching. That's good. That's good. So I might have to get one of those. I'm doing rice the old-fashioned way. I just put it on the simmer burner. And a cup of rice, 2 cups of water, and let it cook down. And it usually gives me 2 cups of cooked rice. But yeah, 5 minutes, no watching. That's pretty good. I like that. Anybody got any questions while we're waiting for the time to go by? I got about 10 more minutes before the chicken gets moved. I did get a good night's sleep last night. I came right to bed after work, and I only had to get up. I got up around 3 to use the facilities, and that was it. But sometimes you got to get up and moving to get all this stuff to circulate around. I'll take a nice hot shower before I go to work, get all that stuff to loosen up, and I'll probably go for a quick walk, check on my neighbor. I took him to where I work yesterday for his interview, and hopefully that went well for him. It'd be nice to see him get this job. It will help him out greatly. Weight-wise, I'm sticking right. I was getting up to almost to 250. So I started cutting my calories back a little bit. Now I'm back down to 246. I want to get past 250 because then it makes it too hard for me to jump back down to 248 to compete. And that's the weight I want to compete at come December. So right now, ribs falling off the bone in 30 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I'm Instant Pot. Pressure cooker. I'll have to check that out. Get the 6-quart. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. We did order one of those big food processors, but it was on back order, so I don't know when we're going to get it. But once I get that in the crock pot, I think my cooking utensils will be fully staffed. If you could only do one exercise to keep fit, what would that be? Probably squats. Squats would probably be the one exercise. Squats will utilize a good portion. You'll utilize your legs, your glutes, your abs. You know, hanging on the bar, utilizing your shoulders and your arms, utilizing your back for balance. So if you're only going to do one exercise to stay in shape, then I would do squats. You have to do a lot of them, but I would do squats. Would you like to do Rich Pina's 8-hour arm workout challenge? I don't know. I have to look into that. Generally, my strength is chest and back. I do have fairly strong arms, but 8 hours, that would be also to be hurt. For a certain joke, that's right. So I can say, the wife asked if I did squat today. I could say, yes, I did. I had some dad jokes around here, too. I might have to look them up. Then I could share with you. There were some good ones. I remember them at the wrong times. But they'll come to me. But yeah. So today, my wife asked me if I did squat. I said, no, I didn't. I wasn't feeling good enough. But I will get some things done around the house. And she'll be happy about that too. We been really busy this summer, so some things have fallen off to the wayside, which we need to get done. I need to can up some of them with my flour. I usually put the flour in the freezer for a while, and then I put them in cans, oxygen absorbers. And that was one of the things I was going to do today, which I still might. I just have to wash the glassware to do it. And I've been buying bigger glassware, so I have that. I'm running out of places to store it, so it comes to a point where do I just leave them in the freezer? I know they're not going bad. Or do I'm going to put up in glass? Winter-wise, regardless of what the supply chain does, this household's in good shape. But yeah, they're talking about airlines going on strike. They better not do it before I go out to Arizona. I'd be miffed. I don't want non-union people doing. Do you do behind the neck barbell press? Not usually. I did one, I think last week I did one with the squats. I went down and I just did it behind me once and then knocked my hat off. Or I had the hat turned over or something. The next thing I know, I'm like this trying to finish up with my hat down. So I stopped doing them. Mike O'Kern, that is the best shoulder exercise to open up the shoulders. And it might be. I do military, so I'm doing in the front. I have done behind the back from time to time. A lot of people say it's bad for you. Other people say it's good for you. The way I would look at it is if it causes you severe discomfort doing it, then don't do it. If it doesn't, then it's okay. Start with lighter weight first. And hello from England, yes. Yep, Jacob, you and Miss Warren from Great Britain. And Runner Boy. So we got 3 of you here from Great Britain. And then we got Randy from Missouri. Pepper Cowboy. Trying to remember where you're from. Texas or are you from Kansas? So, How much time we got? We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes before we move it in the crock pot. And then the excitement begins. It's a nice sunny day. It was overcast this morning, but now the sun's come back up. I think it's going to get back into the 60s again. Iowa, there we go. I was just in Iowa. I was in Dubuque, Iowa for the weekend. And then we stayed in Dubuque, and then we went to the Halloween parade in Galena, Illinois, which I probably won't do again. I'm not much for parades. But we had a lot of family going out there, so it was the opportunity to meet and catch up with everybody. So that's why we did it. Yeah, we weren't far from it. It was only about a 20-minute drive. Where Galena was, we parked at Walmart. We took a shuttle. It was like another 10 minutes. It took us about a half hour to get by the VFW. We watched it for about an hour and a half, and then we went home. You think you'll get back to the 480 bench? Oh yeah. I hit 420 on Monday, so I'm only 60 pounds away. I'm thinking by late spring next year, if things continue to go the way they are, I should have it. Like I said, you want and you wouldn't typically be able to do this if you never had that weight before. So if I never did 480 before, I wouldn't be making that sort of prediction. But I have. I've done 470, 475, 480 on numerous times. So I know it's something that my body has done before. So it's just building back up the muscle memory. And some of it might be just holding myself back. On good morning, Chris. How you doing? And when I did that 405 on Monday, it went up really slow. And I was tempted just to stay at 405, but Michael says, I'll go for 420. I did, and 420 felt like it went up faster than 405 did. And I really think I could have got 425 on Monday. So, maybe this is holding me back a little bit. The mid reps are increasing, so that means, would I ever go for over 500? If I get 485, well, then I'm only 15 pounds away. I would probably have to go to the 275 pound class to get that. Not meaning I would weigh 275, but I don't think I would get 500 at 242 pounds. I only really know of one person that's did 500 pounds at 242, and he's just immensely strong. He's shorter than me, but he is the strongest 242 pounder adult I know. And that is Huck Finn, we call him. So I think to truly get to, I hit 480. When I hit 480, I think I was weighing maybe 246. So I wasn't far off. But I'm really thinking for me to get that sort of muscle mass, I would have to be over 260 pounds probably. And right now I'm at 246. I want to stay around 246. So come December, I'll jump down to 242 for the meet and break that record for UPA. I also have moved my rankings up. I'm no longer tied for fifth. I'm tied for fourth. The person that was in the number one slot since 2014 was not a raw lift. It was an equipped lift. And I dug and found his certificate showing it was equipped. And I said, well, powerlifting, you need to change that. And I appreciate that he did. The only thing is I'm a little disappointed that the individual himself did not. Literally, he had 8 years to correct that. And he knew it was wrong. So that kind of, even though I told he was a nice guy and that kind of tells me that he should have went and got that corrected. I guess there's a chance he was unaware of it, but I doubt it. Because I was made aware of it by another lifter. And I said, well, fine. I said, it's time to change that because it was like 50 pounds more than the person sitting at 52. So, and then I looked at his equip record and it was only 10 pounds more than he did raw. Well, that's not what equip does. Equip allows you to press a lot more than 10 pounds more over your raw bench. So that was a good thing to get that corrected. I think I do have a shot, not this year, but I do think I have a shot next year if I keep the progress going, of getting the number 2 slot, maybe the number 1 slot. So if I get the number 1 slot, I understand I don't have to lift 500 to do that. And I'd like to get it in the 242 and the 275-pound class. So those are my long-term goals. If I hit those in the 60 to 64, and if I get number one on both, I'm going to be a pretty happy camper. So wish me luck. All right. So we're going to shut the oven off. And then we're going to take this out, see what it looks like. Okay, that's about what I expect. It's chicken. So you can tell some cooking has been done. So I'll bring that up where you can see it. So we have baked it for about a half hour. Now to fully cook it, we would have went longer than a half hour. And now we're going to put it in the crock pot, cover it with barbecue sauce, and go from there. So probably what I want to do, I want to get everything closer. Just a little bit closer. Now I've already ate, Chris. I had breakfast. So here, I'll turn this. So you can see the crock pot. So I'm putting these in the crock pot. And they'll be cooking all the way until Mama comes home. And what doesn't get ate today will get eaten tomorrow. Because, chicken, especially bone chicken, takes longer to cook. So you either bake it for a good hour or so. But here, I'm going to put it in the crock pot. Now let's put this over the top. So I got open pit barbecue sauce. And I picked these up on sale. That's the original, and this is honey. So I always add a little honey to it for my honey. A little honey for my honey. Put the lid on it. It's 11:40. Mom will get home probably around 5:30. And that'll be something good in the neighborhood. And then as usual, I try to keep ahead of the dishes. So it's Pyrex. So it should be okay for me to hit it with hot water. And then I'll run that out, rinse it out. So when it comes time to clean it, it's a lot easier to clean. Barbecue sauce, that's right. Open pit. So Walmart had these on closeout. I bought 2 of them. And I'll probably pick up a couple more. But I did have bacon and eggs for a late breakfast. There we go. Because you need to keep your energy up, especially when you're fighting a cold. And now that I have a good signal, or the phone is in a good place, I can basically move the computer anywhere I want to. And stay comfortable. So I got that going. I'm going to leave it on high for a little bit, and then I'll turn it down to low in about an hour. And then that should keep a really nice temperature. Let's see how this is. Kill a TV. There we go. I'm going to turn that a bit because there we go. So this is my command chair here. So this morning I got to catch up and do some reading. I haven't been able to read for a while, been just too busy. Let me shut the shades a little bit. That might help. There we go. The rest and relaxation. Let the food settle for about a half hour, and then I got some stuff to take down to the basement. Start tackling one room at a time. Hopefully by Christmas, I'll have one of the back bedrooms cleared out. Let me see. Do you find when you get a cold after coming back to the gym, you weaker? Because I find when I get a cold, I'm weaker in the gym. Well, you can be, yes. So a couple things are going to do that. If you're not doing any exercising while you have the cold, well, then your muscles are going to get weaker because you're not exercising them. And you probably, with the fever and that, you're probably losing some body weight. And when you lose body weight, you're going to get a little weaker. All right, so when I have a fever, I can't eat properly and I lose so much strength. Right, because you're losing weight. So the trick really doing is when you're running a fever is lots of fluids and soups and broths and that just to keep the calories going. So what you might want to do is just eat more meals. Understand your meals are not going to be as heavy for the most part. Now, I'm not running a very high fever, so I at least I have that going for me. And I'm keeping the calories where I need to keep them. And because I was going to be doing shoulder exercises today and squats, I can actually do some of those outside where the dumbbells are. I just didn't want to go to a gym and spread this around. I didn't want to be one of those people. Follow Nerdle. So yes, it's natural after fighting a cold and that to lose some strength. But what you'll find is it doesn't take as long to get back to where you're at. If you got a cold, you shouldn't really be going to the gym. That's right, so I'm not. Not today. And I won't be going tomorrow because it's not my gym day. And we're going to it just made. And it's worth about $6,000 more than what it is appraised at. What it will be financing that. So it's a good deal. But yeah, a fever will sap the strength from you, but generally within about 2-3 weeks after you recover, you can be back to right where you were at. So that's not bad. Put that down a little bit. There we go. But yes, you are going to lose some strength, and that the idea is try to minimize that as much as possible. Understand there's things you can do. I can do push-ups in the house. I can do those lifts outside. Will I do them in the amount of sets that I generally would do in the gym? No, probably not. But it will keep my muscles activated and keep them from losing a lot of their strength. So that's what I'll be doing today. The weather's good enough for me to do that, so I'm going to. And then try to eat even if you don't feel like eating. But obviously, you're going to eat stuff that passes through the digestive system with the least amount of problems. And probably taking a probiotic probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. But remember, bulk up on those vitamins, C and D3. And then on zinc, zinc, I'm still only taking the zinc once a day. Sometimes I can take it twice a day, but you want to be careful. And the D3 and the C, I'm taking twice a day. And then when it's sunny out, if I can get out and get exposed skin to the sun, that's always a good thing because that's going to produce natural vitamin D, which is better for you anyway. So it's like I've got easily 2.5 hours before I got to go anywhere. Have you ever gone to get a DEXA scan to get your bone density measured? I have not. Uh, you're right; it is probably very, very dense because of my lifting, but I never did it. Right, avoid dairy. Now, the one thing about the Fairlife milk, because it's triple filtered in that, is you don't have that lactose issue. I'm not sure about the mucus things, but yeah, usually dairy encourages it, but dairy is also a very good source of nutrition. So it's like a hit and miss. I try to stay off the medicine, but if I feel my ears are starting to get plugged up in that, then I'll probably get Mucinex or something to help clear out the sinuses. Right now, my body is doing a pretty good job of doing it on its own. But no, I haven't got a DEXA scan. There's really been no reason to. I guess it would just be just for curiosity's sake. But on my last physical, the doctor was like, you know, he had looked at all my stats before he met me, and when I walked in, he says, I was going to talk to you about being overweight, but I can see that's not the issue. Because if you go by those silly charts, they're wanting me about 60 pounds lighter than I am, and that's just inconceivable, and it's not going to happen. So, but yeah, he was like, "Wow, guy." I said, "Well, yeah, I've been working at it a real long time." And he says, "Well, you don't have any blood pressure issues. Your blood pressure's perfect." I said, "It always has been." He says, "You don't have any." So your sugar is, where it needs to be. I said, "It usually is." He says, "Well, your cholesterol's a little high." I said, "That always has been the case. That's just hereditary." Yeah. But I don't think they do that stuff for free for just curiosity. I don't know. If I ever in a place where I can get that done, then maybe I'll do it. I don't know what's all involved. But I imagine my bones got to be pretty strong, especially in the chest area. I had them drop 400 pounds on me one time in a meet, and I recovered from it. So uh, I would have to say, yeah, my bones are really strong. And that's one of the benefits of lifting and being active is your joints are easier to move. Even if you have arthritis, it helps you out. You just got to be careful what sort of exercise you are doing. There are some that you'd want to avoid. But it definitely helps the bone density. It helps the circulatory system. And, obviously you're stronger and your endurance goes up and your quality of life goes up. I mean, even with the cold, I'm still able to go out and do things. Yeah, I just dress for it. Like I said, I'll probably nap for about 15, 20 minutes, let the food digest, and I think I might go for a short walk and then do some lifts. Also, so basically, in your physical, your BMI was through the roof, and that's because of your big muscle mass. Correct. So I carry a lot of muscle, and then they're saying, well, I think when I did my physical, I was only about 235 pounds. So I'm heavier now, but I do have more muscle mass I've recovered. And they're saying, well, the charts want me to weigh anywhere from 167 to 190 pounds. And I told them that's not going to happen. He asked me, well, you think you can get down to 222? And I said, well, I've done that before. And it's doable. My six pack starts to show back up, but then my bench goes down below 400. So I want to keep that 400 plus bench. I would like to go back and chase that 480, get me a 485. And I'd like to be at the position where I can make a decision of whether I want to go after 500 or not. I'm just not ready to settle in to be that old man yet. I'm going to stay a crazy old man. Is there going to be a point in my life, that I'm going to have to give up on those huge, heavy lifts all the time? Yeah, but it's not. It's not going to be this year, and probably not going to be next year. So, appreciate everybody stopping in. Appreciate the thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. The comments make things go a lot easier. It helps me carry on a conversation, when I'm answering questions and that. And there was a lot of good questions there. I appreciate that. And if you think of any other ones, just shoot me an email. I will answer all my emails. Jonathan, if you peeked in here or if you watch this later, I would just continue on the workout schedule I gave you. It sounds like I hit it pretty accurate. I just have to explain about you didn't do the 250. So if you didn't do the 250 or you didn't count it because the guy touched it, then that's okay. But I'd keep it that schedule I gave you. So everybody have a wonderful week. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. And stay healthy, stay fit, and have a good time. Yeah, well, I'm not stop listening hefty this year. You're having another meal later? Oh yeah, I'll probably be having at least another 4 meals after today. So I'll probably eat another 4. I'll probably eat one around 2, and then I'll eat 2 of them at work, and then I'll probably have some of that chicken before I go to bed. It depends on how much exercise. Remember, I can get a lot of exercise at work. So my work allows me to get a lot of lifting done. But if I do the dumbbell lifts outside, I will record those and then post those later on this evening when I have a signal. So Miss Worm, Purple Cowboy, and Jacob, and Runner Boy, and Randy, and who else did we have here? Oops, didn't want to do that. I want to get out of there. Stop it. Chris, John Clash, thank you all for joining in. I appreciate it. And it is time for just a quick nap. And then for my walk to get the blood moving, and then probably some exercising. And then on for my second meal. Oh. You're having another meal later. But that doesn't mean, okay, there we go. Yeah, that makes more sense. All righty. Everybody have a wonderful day. Oh, absolutely. Next one will be Friday. Should